Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, hello everyone. Let's have a look at the wonderful new feature that will help us to use custom Lightning web components to create new Tableau CRM widgets. In Spring 22 release, Salesforce has launched the ability to use your own LWC inside a Tableau CRM dashboard. The LWC can interact with the parent dashboard and update when any filter selection or data changes. Additionally, we can use this framework to build dashboard controls or completely change the way the dashboard behaves. In this session, we will have a quick intro about Tableau CRM and its high-level architecture. Then we will see which extension will help us to quickly create LWCs that can be used in the dashboards, followed by a few important Lightning component attributes and a demo. As we know, the Tableau CRM is an application that enables you to make sense of large amounts of data. You can explore your data to discover new, unexpected insights as well. Get instant visualizations that show how your business is doing and even gaze into the future of to see what the coming months might bring. To start with, we first sync data from Salesforce or connect the data from the external sources of to Tableau CRM. We can use these connected objects directly or create data flows and receipts for additional transformations or joins which then create data sets. These all are admin steps that we usually do to enable users to continually monitor key business metrics based on large data using dashboards. So dashboard is an interactive collection of widgets that show query results from your data, whether that comes from inside or outside of the Salesforce. So here in the image, as we see, right, we can connect external sources and then make use of it in one go. To try out this Tableau CRM widgets or dashboards and this LWC feature, we can sign up on the Tableau CRM Enable Developer Edition using this link. In Tableau CRM dashboard runtime, we have these widgets. So widget 1, 2, multiple widgets we have. And these widgets get data from the queries and pass the selection back to them. Queries can pass the selections to each other through facets and receive global filters from the core runtime as well. Steps can also pass selections and data to other components via bindings. So this way, these widgets communicate using the queries. Like from query 1, we can interact to query 2 as well. We can link them. So this is what we already have. So new feature that is enabled is this LWC part. So we can incorporate our LWC, our code within this all entire system that's available already. So we can link this code with any of the queries. We can bind them with the other widgets. To start with, we can install this extension in our Visual Code. Excuse me. The extension name is Salesforce Analytics Extension Pack. And we can create the LWC using this command sfdx create analytics dashboard LWC in Visual Studio Code. Alternatively, we can create a standard Lightning component, web component with the sfdx force Lightning component create CLI command. And then we can convert this standard LWC into Tableau CRM LWC by adding the target attribute called analytics_dashboard. We add this attribute in the LWC's JS meta XML file. Adding this target to the list of targets for a component allows it to be used in the Tableau CRM dashboards. We have seen that there are multiple targets that we can add to LWCs, like with the targets attribute specifies where the component can be added, such as Lightning page, flow builder, and additionally now we have the analytics dashboard. Attributes specified in the LWC's analytics dashboard target So we have this LWC, in the config file, we can have the target properties defined. So those are displayed in the Tableau CRM dashboard builders UI for configuration. So for example, here, if we see, we have component attributes, title and data. In addition to the common data types, this target also supports measure and dimension data types for components with the has step and enabled. Dashboard builders are able to choose a column of the given data type from the results of the attached step as well. Properties are key to making your code reusable. So we don't have to hard code the values, the title or anything in the code. We can allow users to define it or configure these properties through config without having to even look at the code. In an analytics dashboard target config, so this target configs, we can choose to include a hash step as true to indicate that our component requires an attached step to function as expected. So when we say attached step, it could be a widget giving results or a query giving some result or selection. With this tag, the dashboard builder UI prompts you to attach an existing step or create a new step when creating an instance of your component. Components with an attached step have access to step-specific properties like results, as you see here, at API results. So we get the results returned by the query into this variable. Okay, let's see some LWCs in action for this. Okay, so this is the extension pack that I mentioned earlier on one of the slides that I have installed. So once we have installed this, and if we try to create a component, we get this particular option, SFDX Create Analytics Dashboard LWC. Let's try to create one. So now here, due to extension, we can specify at the time of creation itself whether this particular LWC will have any step attached or not. So for now, let's create one with the attached, say. Yeah. So as we see, this LWC demo, LWC is created and the initial config is automatically done for us. It has defined the target as dashboard, analytics dashboard, and in the config, it has already specified that we will need a step for this. Let's look at an existing example, hello world example. In this example, I have turned off the step for now, and I've added one property called title and data. And in this simple LWC, all I'm doing is printing out the data that I'm getting or the properties that I'm getting from the dashboard. So let's see this example. To add the lightning component or the LWC to your dashboard, we need to use this particular widget called component. So when you drag this component and click on it, we have this new option now, lightning components. It will list down all the LWCs which are enabled for analytics dashboard. So let's select simple example for hello world. Okay, here we have component attributes. So let's see. So as you see, as soon as we start typing in the config settings, the LWC is printing out the data that we are entering. So this is a static data, but we can also assign or the results of a particular query or binding to this particular LWC. Let's try that as well. So suppose so if you click anywhere on this canvas, we get the option to create query. So let's create a query. And for the purpose of this example, let's have a user object linked. So for this one, let's fetch the first name and the last name of the logged in user. So just for testing purpose, okay. So we are fetching the first name and last name of logged in user, that's me. So it's showing my name here. So done. If we see this query is created here under user object. So what we can do is we can link this LWC to this particular query by using this advanced editor. So once I click here advanced editor, I can select this query in this source query. I can choose which row or which cell I want to display the data. So we can see what the result will be as soon as we start selecting the query and the cell that we want to have the data from, it will show us the result as well. So I'll leave the interaction type as result here. Optionally, we can define a default value. And we can use this whole string formed by this interaction in the title. Title is the property that is linked to LWC. So as we see, we are getting my first name here because that's the column that I've selected. So even if we preview, it will show the name. So this is one of the dynamic way how we have linked a simple query to our LWC through this property that we have configured. So in this particular example, I have used the result from the query, but there could be other examples. Say for in this particular case, I have created a list of some values, static values, and I want to pass the values that I select to LWC. So in this case, the method is same, that we will go to the advanced editor and select the particular static. In the source query, I can say that I want it from the static variable, and I can choose which value to display. And then this string I can put into the title part. Important part here is that instead of result, I have used this selection. So what happens is whatever I select, that selected value is passed to LWC. Okay. So for the first two examples that we just saw, we had the has step turned off. It was false. So here is one example where we can attach the LWC with the results of a particular dynamic query in a way that with the steps. Okay, so for this LWC, I have turned on the step. So what happens is when we drag drop this particular component, say hello world 2 is the second example from my side. So when you select the LWC, immediately we will get another screen to choose the data source. So which means it's asked for like which result will be returned to our LWC. So for now, I will choose an existing query. So what happens here is, this query name is type 2. So I have linked this particular LWC to query 2, this type 2 query. So I've linked this LWC to type 2. So whatever changes happen here in this will be passed on to my LWC. So suppose I change in the preview, if I change the account type, So you see, as the options change here, the values change here. Existing business 25, we are getting same here 25. If I change partner, it is 7. Now the count is 7. So this example shows that whatever results or the rows that we get here in the Tableau dashboard, we can pass it to the LWC. And then in the LWC, we can process it row by row to do our complex logics or to pass on to this another system or object. Here is another example for the same LWC with hash step examples. Okay, so these first two charts are simple Tableau dashboard widgets. So one is the chart one, and both are charts. And this is my LWC component. Okay, let me show you from start. So I'll add a LWC component here. The name of my LWC component that I'm going to add for this example is play button. I'll link this to owner name. So which means for this chart, I have these opportunities are linked to which users or the owners they have, right? So let's run this. So if I run this, if I click on this play button, it automatically starts changing the sales rep names and showing us the data based upon which user is selected, the sales rep or the owner selected for the opportunity. So this is one live example how using LWCs in our dashboard can help increase the visualizations, how we can get it to an advanced level. Okay. So let me show you this play button code. The important part in this play button code is, yeah. So in this example as well, we have turned on the hash step to true so that we get the results from the or we can interact with the selections and result attributes from the dashboard. Then in JS file, we have used the important attributes that are made available to us due to this hash step. One is the results part, and the another is selection, set selection, get and set state. So this allows us to get or set the state or the values from the Tableau dashboard. So the one we saw, right, where we were changing the values, that part is done based upon here. That dot set selection. So set selection allows us to change or set the attribute values in the Tableau dashboard. And this selection was linked to one of the queries that I have already created. So let me show. So this is one of the list. Just for demo purpose, I have added this list here, but we don't need it. We can simply create a query which will give us the list of owners for the opportunity. If we see this query owner name 1, it is nothing but a group of giving us the owner names. So once we have linked this, we are changing this query's attribute, like which rep name is selected. So I'll again run this, and to see the difference, we see these names are changing in this list as this widget itself also. So which means whatever changes we are doing in the LWC, we can link it to any of the widget in the Tableau dashboard. Okay. Another LWC example is this list example. So we can have a query defined here in LWC what list we want, and then that list can be passed on to LWC, which we can And in WC, we can define it like we can show them as a single selection options, as a particular list, table, or checkboxes, anything as we need. And again, these changes we can link back to a Tableau CRM. So if I change the selections, we see the dashboard's data changes. Okay. So those were some examples and a short demo of like how we can add these LWCs in our Tableau dashboard. There is a list of sample examples created by Salesforce themselves, and those examples are added to GitHub site. This is the link from where we can download and try out these particular widgets. And there is how to use this widget and what is the purpose. In short, it's mentioned here in this particular link. So I'll paste this link in the chat as well for you. Thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Meghana. Can you please share the details of the extension we need for this LWC analytics dashboard in the chat window?
Sure. I'll do that now.
Okay.